It has finally happened. Professional baseball was played in Dubai. Baseball United made its debut for all the world to see. Players from 21 different countries on two All-Star teams. Plenty to be excited about. But there's also a lot to be concerned about. In this video, I want to go over all the positives and negatives of the inaugural showcase. Not the play on the field, I'll recap that on tomorrow's video on the second channel, like I do every Monday. This video is my little assessment of what went right and what went wrong, and what good choices or poor choices they could make from here on out. First, what went right? The best thing was we all got to see it. It was televised in 127 different countries. And if it wasn't televised in your country, you could see it on the official Baseball United site. So much easier than most other leagues make it. I don't know how many people actually tuned in worldwide, but they did the right thing by making it available to anyone who wants to watch it. It had the perfect balance of a good level of talent and a wide, diverse number of nationalities. Over half the players had major league experience, others from NPB, LMB, and other high levels of baseball. The game opened with former Cy Young winner Bartolo Colon throwing to five-time Silver Slugger Robinson Cano. But they were careful not to focus too much on the talent when putting the teams together. When you do that, you risk having the rosters overrun with players from the Americas and East Asia. They managed to get players from all continents of the world. On the field with all the ex-Major League players were young players from India, Pakistan, Uganda, Finland, and other countries that have never had any players compete at such a high level. There was a player there representing Palestine, which went over really well with the fans. Having all these players from various countries signaled that this is a league for everyone, not just a few select countries. A sure way to bring in more viewers from around the globe. The entertainment, the singers for the two national anthems, it was all good. Bringing in Shoaib Akhtar as a global ambassador and having him there in the broadcast booth was a genius move. For those who don't know, Shoaib Akhtar is a retired Pakistani cricketer, one of the fastest bowlers in the history of cricket. If you're going to try to win over fans in a region where cricket is king, that is how you do it. The venue was fantastic. Dubai International Stadium is normally used for cricket, but it worked great as a venue for baseball. The VIP seats on the field in foul territory were just amazing. I really hope we get to see baseball played there again. And next time, hopefully, there'll be people in the seats. Turning to the negative side of things now, you could not watch the game without becoming painfully aware of how empty the place was. Dubai International Stadium seats 25,000, only 10,000 on the lower level. They weren't even trying to fill the upper level, so 10,000 was their goal. Couldn't find any attendance figures, but it was definitely less than half of that. Many people were surprised by this. I was not. After tickets started going on sale, I made a video a few weeks ago where I mentioned that tickets weren't selling very well, despite the reasonable cost. Since then, I had been checking about every other day, waiting for the available seats to start disappearing. The only time that happened was when all the outfield seats disappeared in a single day. Not because they sold those seats, but because they gave up on it and decided to concentrate on filling the infield seats. The last time I checked was about 12 hours before game time on Friday, and I counted approximately 4,000 seats taken. When I watched the game, it looked like about 3,000 in attendance, meaning that 7,000 seats were unoccupied, 22,000 counting the upper deck seats. Now, if you had told me a few years ago that a professional baseball league would soon play a two-game series in Dubai with 3,000 in attendance, I would have been thrilled. Since baseball is mostly non-existent throughout the region, playing ball in the Middle East in front of 3,000 people is actually quite an accomplishment. And I'm used to watching baseball played in front of small crowds. In Europe, they're good with just a couple hundred in attendance. In Australia, anything over 1,000 is good. The difference is expectations in those places are low. The cost of putting on the games is pretty low. The venues they play in are meant for small crowds, and they play dozens of games every year. They're not staging one big event. So it wouldn't have looked so bad if Baseball United had chosen a smaller venue and not had such high expectations. I think they way overestimated baseball's potential in the Middle East. Baseball is hardly played in that region. Most people know nothing about it. But Baseball United, through their research, found that there are hundreds of thousands of fans throughout the region. I'd like to know how they came to that conclusion because it contradicts everything I've ever learned about baseball in the Middle East. I figured they knew something I didn't, but the mostly empty stadium on Friday and Saturday seemed to confirm what I already knew. They may regret putting two teams in the UAE, a country of just 10 million people with only a few hundred registered players. A large expat population, but not so much from baseball countries. Some people have pointed out that the Dubai series was being played on the same weekend that the F1 race in Abu Dhabi was taking place. I doubt that a significant number of sports fans passed on the baseball game to attend the race on Sunday. Maybe a few, but not too many. Besides, they're planning on playing a regular season schedule every year there in November and December. Competing with the F1 race is just something they have to deal with. And that brings up another thing. They put all this effort into just 2 games, hyped it up, brought out celebrities. Just 2 games for the whole country for the whole year. And next they hope to have 2 teams in the country playing a regular season schedule. If only a few thousand show up for an All-Star series, how low is attendance going to be for a regular season game? They seem to be focusing more on the Middle East rather than South Asia, and I think they've got it backwards. I think Baseball United will do much better in India and Pakistan. There is a much larger population to draw from, totaling about 1.6 billion from the 2 countries combined. Not only that, there are already more people playing and watching baseball in those countries. Baseball isn't big in India or Pakistan, but I'm sure they could have drawn a larger crowd than they did in Dubai. The majority of the UAE's population is foreign expats, and the majority come from India and Pakistan. By holding the first series in Dubai, it seems like they were trying to sell the game to Indians and Pakistanis in Dubai, and then later bringing it to the actual countries of India and Pakistan. But wouldn't you want to start in India and Pakistan, where all the people are? Dubai has much wealthier residents, that much is true. But with the low prices they were charging for tickets, I think it wouldn't have been a problem selling tickets in India or Pakistan. Unfortunately, we won't get to see baseball in India or Pakistan next year either. The plan is to hold all of next year's games in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Doha. They'll have to spend the next 11 months doing some serious promoting of the Baseball United teams, and baseball itself, in and around those 3 cities if that's going to work. If not, the league may not survive past Season 1. Sorry if this all sounds really negative. This is not a eulogy for Baseball United. Like I said before, everything was prepared really well for the event. The game itself was great, and a few thousand fans for a baseball game in the Middle East is actually pretty amazing. It just doesn't look amazing when the seats outnumber the people 8-1. It'll be interesting to see what they do from here. They plan to expand to 8 teams. Where they put those teams could really determine the success of Baseball United in the future. We've got an idea where they might have those 4 new expansion teams, and I've got some ideas where I think they should put them, but that'll be the subject for another video. Anyway, that's just what I think. Let me know what you think down in the comments. That's all for this one, and until next time, this is Baseball International. See ya.